Mom's message arrived at 7:46 p.m. Sharp, cold, and painfully clear. It buzzed once across my phone screen, and for a moment I smiled, thinking she was asking when I'd be arriving for the wedding. Instead, the words that appeared made my entire body stiffen. Please don't come. We need a drama-free wedding. I read it again, slower this time, hoping I had misread something. But no, every word hit with the same sharpness, cutting deeper each second. Drama-free, as if my presence was chaos. As if I had ever brought anything into this family except loyalty and quiet love. Before I could even process the sting, I saw a small reaction pop up under the message, liked by Ayesha. My younger sister, the girl whose tears I wiped, whose secrets I kept, whose dreams I supported even when mine had to be put aside. She didn't just read the message, she reacted to it, agreeing, approving, encouraging it. My chest tightened like someone had reached inside and squeezed my heart with their bare hands. My fingers trembled slightly as I held the phone, but I didn't reply. I couldn't. Words refused to form in my mind, let alone in my throat. I put the phone face down on my bed and stared at the ceiling, feeling the silence crawl around me. Not once in my entire life had I imagined being asked not to attend my sister's wedding. I had pictured myself standing beside her, adjusting her veil, calming her nerves, telling her she looked beautiful. But now, I wasn't even wanted in the room. Mom's message repeated in my mind until it felt burned into my skin. Drama-free wedding, as though I had ever created drama. I was the quiet one, the responsible one, the one who stayed up nights fixing everyone's mistakes. And now I wasn't even welcome. A small ache grew behind my ribs as memories began to surface. Ayesha sobbing over her exam failures, and me tutoring her all night. Ayesha wrecking her laptop, and I sold my phone to help repair it. Ayesha crying after fighting with Mom, and I lied just so she wouldn't get punished. But she had liked that message, approved my absence, rejected me with her silence, by 11 p.m. I had cried all the tears my body could hold. I told myself I wouldn't go. If they didn't want me, fine. I wouldn't force myself into a place where my presence felt like burden. But then, my phone buzzed again. A new message, unknown number. Chilling words, you should come tomorrow. There are things you need to see. I stared at the message from the unknown number until the screen dimmed. You should come tomorrow. There are things you need to see. For hours, those words circled inside my head like a storm, refusing to settle. I didn't know who sent it or why they cared. But something deep inside me, something wounded and tired, whispered that this wasn't a prank. This wasn't random. This was connected to the message Mom sent, to the coldness in Ayesha's like, to something bigger I wasn't supposed to know. But the truth is, the pain didn't start last night. It didn't even start this week. It had been building quietly for years, like dust collecting in hidden corners. As I lay awake, old memories came back one by one, each more painful than the last. I remembered being 15 when Mom first said, "You're the older one. You should understand. Always me." Always understanding, and when Ayesha broke something, forgot something, lied about something, I was the one who covered for her. Not because I was asked to, but because I loved her. She was my sister. She was my responsibility. At least, that's what I believed. In college, when Ayesha got in trouble for skipping classes, I was the one who met her teacher, apologized, begged for another chance. She cried in my lap afterward, promising she'd make it up to me someday. Someday never came. Even when she started liking the guy I later got engaged to, she never told me. She smiled at our engagement photos, stood beside me during planning, and acted like everything was normal. I didn't know then that jealousy had already taken root inside her heart. And Mom, she always saw perfection in Ayesha. I was the shield. Ayesha was the treasure. Maybe that was why it hurt so deeply when Mom typed those words. Please don't come, as if my existence threatened Ayesha's happiness. By 3 a.m. I sat at the edge of my bed, staring into the darkness. Something was wrong, and if someone wanted me to see the truth, maybe I needed to know what that truth was. Maybe I needed closure, something I had never truly had in this house. The message replayed in my mind again. You should come tomorrow. A slow, heavy breath escaped my chest. Maybe, for once, I needed to stop protecting people who wouldn't even think twice before erasing me. Maybe I deserved to learn what was being hidden, not as a daughter, not as a sister, but as someone who had finally run out of reasons to stay silent. And in that moment, I decided I would go. The next evening, the wedding hall glowed like a palace, gold lights, silk drapes, flowers heavy with fragrance. It should have felt magical. Instead, it felt suffocating. Every breath I took felt like a reminder that I wasn't meant to be there. I slipped inside through the back door, my heart pounding like a guilty guest sneaking into a forbidden place. I kept my head low, moving among the shadows where no one would recognize me. I had no intention of causing drama. I only wanted the truth someone insisted I needed to see. From behind a pillar, I watched Mom greet guests with her brightest smile, the one she never wore for me. She looked proud, satisfied, as if the world finally matched her expectations. Ayesha wasn't in sight, probably getting ready. I told myself to breathe, but the air felt thick. Then I heard it, my name. I froze. 2 aunties stood near the dessert table, their voices low but sharp enough to cut. She said her sister was controlling and insecure. That's why the fiancé left, one whispered. My stomach twisted. Yes, poor Ayesha, the other replied. Imagine your own sister sabotaging your love life. No wonder they kept her away today. Sabotaging. Me, a cold chill ran down my spine. I stepped closer, slowly, carefully. Another woman joined them. I heard Ayesha cried for months. She said her sister took the man she loved. My breath caught. Ayesha said what? Blood rushed to my ears. I pressed my hand against the wall to steady myself as the truth began to peel away the lies like rotten skin. This wasn't just a misunderstanding. This was a narrative. A story built so carefully that even relatives believed it. A story in which I was the villain. My chest hurt so badly I had to close my eyes. The betrayal wasn't just fresh. It was deep, years old, fermented in silence. When I opened my eyes again, I saw him, Adil, my ex-fiancé, the man who walked away without a word, who blocked me out of his life without giving me a reason. He looked uncomfortable, like someone carrying a secret that had become too heavy. He kept checking his watch, tapping his foot. Anxiety radiated from him. Then a man approached, tall, confident, familiar, Adil's cousin. He grabbed Adil's arm and spoke urgently. You can't marry her without knowing the truth. I felt my breath stop. What truth? Adil frowned. What are you talking about? The cousin's jaw tightened. The screenshots Ayesha showed. I checked them. They're fake, all of them. My heart slammed against my ribs. Fake, he continued, voice tense. She edited messages to make it look like your ex cheated. She wanted you, and she made sure you believed lies. Adil staggered back, color draining from his face. And in that moment, I realized I didn't have to expose anything. Their truth was exposing itself. Adil stood frozen, the truth cracking through him like lightning splitting a tree. His cousin's words hung heavily in the air, and for the first time since the engagement ended, I saw regret in his eyes. Raw, unfiltered, undeniable. Before he could gather himself, Mom appeared, flustered and irritated. There you are, the ceremony is starting. Why aren't you? She stopped. Adil's expression was enough to silence her. What happened? She asked, voice trembling. Adil swallowed hard. Did you know she faked messages, lied about her sister, manipulated everything? Mom blinked rapidly, shock flickering over her face, but not guilt. No, guilt requires innocence. Her face showed fear. Fear of losing the image she had constructed. Fear of the truth being louder than her intentions. I don't know what you're talking about, she whispered, but her eyes darted away. Ayesha arrived moments later, dressed like a dream gold lehenga shimmering, makeup flawless. A bride glowing with excitement until she saw Adil's face. Adil, why do you look like that? What's wrong? Tell me it's not true, he said, voice breaking. Tell me you didn't fake messages. Tell me you didn't destroy your sister's relationship to get me. Ayesha's breath hitched. Her eyes widened in panic. In that second, she looked so small, so guilty, so exposed. Her lips trembled. Who told you that? Adil's cousin stepped forward. The truth doesn't need permission to show up. Mom grabbed Ayesha's wrist. Just deny it, fix this. But Ayesha's composure shattered. I loved you first, she cried. She got everything. Mom always chose her enough. Mom snapped, but the damage was done. Guests began whispering. The hall filled with murmurs, judgment, shock. The perfect wedding had cracked open. And then Mom saw me, standing in the corner, silent, watching everything unfold, her face drained of blood. You came, Ayesha gasped. You weren't supposed to be here. But I didn't speak. I didn't have to. My silence was the loudest truth in the room. Adil slowly took off the wedding garland. I can't marry someone who built her happiness on someone else's pain, he whispered. Especially her own sisters. Ayesha burst into tears. Mom shouted. The hall erupted with chaos, but I didn't stay to watch their world collapse. I turned and walked away, not because I won, not because they lost, but because I finally understood something. Peace is the sweetest revenge. As I stepped outside, the cool night air hit my face, and for the first time in years I felt free. Not valued by them, but valued by myself. My phone buzzed. A text from the same unknown number. You deserve the truth. Now you can move on. And I finally did.